For the girls who want to know how to do their hair at home, this one is for you. Today, I'm showing you how I do my pixie cut, from trim to relaxer to covering my grays, and most of all, styling. Yes, the waves, the mold, all of that in today's video. Hey girl, hey, it's Nita and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm Nita Danielle, and on this channel we focus on all things faith, fashion, lifestyle, motherhood, and everything in between. But today we are talking about how to maintain and style your pixie cut at home. I am always asked about how I keep up my pixie, if I go to the salon, if I do it at home, and the answer to that is a hybrid of both. I go to the salon sometimes, but mostly I do my hair at home. Most of you guys know I was a full-time cosmetologist licensed. I was in the salon for 10 years before this became my full-time job, so I do have a little bit of skill. However, I was not the pixie or short hair girl, but I know enough to maintain my hair at home. So today I'm going to show you guys how to do the full shebang. I won't be cutting my hair, I just need to kind of get the back a little bit, but we are going to relax, mold, and style. So this is the full shebang in hopes that it helps you to maintain or do and style your pixie cut at home. So as always, I will have links to everything that I am using in today's video in the description box down below. Also the QR code here. I will do my best to link everything from the products to even the clippers and shears and all the things that I use. Most of these things are available on Amazon, but again, I will do my best to link everything, or you can find most of these items at your local beauty supply. I will not be using anything that requires a license to purchase. But yeah, that is it. So without further ado, let's get into styling the pixie. So I start off by trimming the back of my hair. I do not like when I have the little ducktail in the back. I know that that's kind of a style now depending on how you like to wear your pixie, but I don't like when the back of my hair flips up. So I always go in and trim that, and I use a mixture of scissor over comb. But if you don't even know what I'm talking about, I just like to take a razor comb and go in the back. You'll see I'm using a razor comb there. And because I don't have a door in my bathroom to put a mirror on, I just have to use my best judgment, girl. And you can see it's not the best, it's not the most flush and fluid because I can't really see what I'm doing, but it works for what I need it to do. So once I go ahead and just kind of trim up the back and make sure that it's laying the way I want it to, we're going to go ahead and use the relaxer. I love using Organic Root Stimulator from the beauty supply. It's tried and true. I've used it for as long as I've been relaxing my hair, and it works for me. And I go ahead and apply the relaxer all over my head. I don't really base my scalp. You can if you want to, but because I don't necessarily leave the relaxer on that long, because I relax my hair often because it's short and because I cut it all the time, I typically don't base my scalp. I just go in with the relaxer. Also, you will see that I'm not honestly being super careful to not get it on the ends. I don't care. Now, I know technically as a licensed cosmetologist, you're not supposed to overlap the relaxer. I get it and I understand. However, I cut my hair often, so the hair does not stay on my head long. So I just feel like it doesn't really matter. And honestly, with my hair being this short, the time it would take me to cautiously apply it to 1 centimeter of my hair, girl, I will be here forever. So I go ahead and apply it to my entire head. I leave it on for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I go ahead and shampoo it out with the neutralizing shampoo that comes in the package with the relaxer, and then I follow it up with my rinse. Now, I don't like my hair to be jet black, so I do a mixture of the jet black and the darkest brown. I do have gray hairs on the temples of my head, so I like to really saturate those really well. But yeah, I go ahead and apply that. It's just a semi-permanent rinse. I apply that and I let that sit for about 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll get under the dryer, but because I did relax my hair, the cuticles of my hair are open, so I don't need to do that. So I just go ahead and apply it and I let that sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once I rinse out the relaxer, I do go ahead and do a deep conditioner. Sometimes I'll use the replenishing pack that comes in the conditioner. I do love that one, but today I actually end up using the Moroccan oil deep conditioner. I love that one. It smells amazing. So I go ahead and put the deep conditioner in, and then I do comb it through just to make sure that my hair is saturated. Ideally, you would want to use a water tooth comb, but I couldn't find mine, so I'm just using my little rat tail comb. It's fine. And yeah, I go ahead and leave that in for about another 10 to 15 minutes. And then we rinse out and we are ready to style. Now, this is the tricky part, and this is what takes me honestly the longest when it comes to styling my hair, is waving it. Now, I personally enjoy wearing my hair waved up. I do finger waves on both sides of my hair, and then I curl the middle. I don't like just a straight, flat Pixie. I like mine curled and waved and swooped up, but again, that's personal preference. When it comes to finger waves, the best way that I can tell you or guide you, outside of course showing you what I'm doing, is this: that you are making little C's in your hair. So you make C's going in the opposite direction. This is something, like I said, when it comes to me waving and molding my hair, it takes me about 20, sometimes 30 minutes to get my mold perfectly, because I'm very particular about my waves. And sometimes if I don't like it, I will literally comb it out and redo it. And I think you'll see me doing that here. I don't know if I did it on this clip, but I definitely will comb out the waves and redo them from scratch if I don't like the way they're looking. So again, the mold for me takes the longest part in styling my hair. Even when it comes to relaxing cutting, the molding takes the longest, because your mold will make or break your pixie. And also, I just like my waves to look good, so I really take my time here, and I'm not in a rush when it comes to molding my hair. So I'll let y'all enjoy me, girl, trying to figure out these waves, and we'll come back once it's all done. Now that the wave is all done, this is how it looks. And then I'm taking my wrap strips and I'm just going to go ahead and wrap up my hair so that I can sit under the dryer. There's no right or wrong reason or rhyme to using wrap strips. If you don't want to use wrap strips, you can absolutely just use a regular wrap that you can get from your local beauty supply. And I will have one linked if you're not comfortable with these wraps, because they do break because they are actual paper. So now that my hair is dry, I'm taking the wrap off, and this is how the mold looks. Now, my mold is not perfect, and I know it's not perfect because I plan on curling my hair. But again, if you have a really good mold, you can actually wear it out. Now, I wouldn't wear mine like this, but yeah. So I'm showing you guys the back. I told y'all that I don't do the best job when it comes to cutting the back of my own hair, but I'm gonna go ahead and take my peanut clippers, and peanuts are just a very short, small version of regular clippers. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give myself a little edge up. After it's relaxed, you can see here that it doesn't look as bad, but it definitely needs a little help in the very back of my head. So you'll see me going in there and just kind of cleaning that up a little bit with the clippers and my comb. And I kind of use my comb as a guard back there just to make sure that I'm not like giving myself a plug in the back of my head, because I'm definitely done that before, okay? But yeah, this is how it looks, and I don't think it looks bad for me doing it myself. You can let me know what you think in the comments. Nonetheless, it is time for my favorite part, and that is curling my hair, honey. Now, before we get to curling, we need the Care wax stick. Of course, you don't have to use this one, but I found that a wax stick really helps my curls to have shine, and it helps them to hold. So I do go ahead and apply that to my hair, especially in the top and the very back where I'm going to be curling it. And then I also will use a shine spray at the end, but I find that between the wax stick and the shine spray, it helps my hair not to look crunchy. Here I'm also using the Olaplex oil, again, just to give it shine and just to help my hair look healthy, because we don't want a crunchy pixie. Now, I use this Red by Kiss ceramic iron. I think this is the 3/8 inch. I don't know, it's the smallest one that they carry. And I use that, and I go ahead and curl the back of my hair. Now, I curled this just using my fingers and the curling iron. There's no rhyme or reason. I don't even try to find a mirror to use. I literally feel my way through curling the back of my head, and I feel like that's something that just takes practice, girl. You just have to try and you'll figure it out, because if I'm honest, like, why are you looking at the back of my head that hard? hard, okay? You shouldn't even be back there like that, but trust me. Just use your fingers. You can use a comb if you want, but use your fingers and curl it like that, and I promise you it will turn out fine. Now, when it comes to the front of my hair, that's where I'm a little bit more particular. I do use my comb and I take small sections and I curl my hair in the direction that I want it to go. And then you'll also see that once I curl it, I kind of lay it flat. I like to lay it flat while it's hot, because once you press or do whatever to your curls while it's hot, that helps to set the curl. I do like for my hair to be flat, so I will curl it and then I'll take my hands, or sometimes I'll take the curling iron and lay it on top just to flatten the curls, because again, I like my hair to be flat. I like for it to have a little fluff, but I don't necessarily like a lot of volume with my Pixie. That's just personal preference. Of course, if you like volume, then you can curl it standing up and just leave it. But if you flatten it while it's hot, that will help for it to stay flat if you like a flatter Pixie like myself. And yeah, there's no real rhyme or reason to how I curl the top of my Pixie. I like for it to kind of look like pin curls, so I do curl it in a way that it gives me the look of a pin curl. And then of course afterwards you can always go in and adjust your curls to look the way you want, like I'm doing there. I kind of check it as I go to make sure it's giving me the look that I'm desiring to achieve. So yeah, like I said, no rhyme or reason up here. I just curl it until it gets to my desired look. Also, sometimes on the sides where there's a part, I'll go in and adjust the curls to kind of cover the parts, because I don't really like a lot of parts in my Pixie. I'll part it just to mold it, but then I go in with the curls and cover the parts, so it just looks like a bunch of hair and not a bunch of parts. I hope that makes sense. Yes, honey, this is a whole workout. Your arms will be hurting, okay? But we gotta get the job done. I'm pretty much done curling. I'm just going in to fluff and lay the curls the way that I want them to lay. Again, I told you guys I like for mine to look like little pin curls, so you see me just situating them where I want them to be to give the look that I want them to look, especially around the perimeter of my face where it's face framing. I really try to make sure those are laying the way that I want them to lay, and then the rest of it, honestly, girl, I feel like it's just gonna all come together. So this is what we are looking like. Here's the back, and then there's a piece that I left out on the side. I did go back and curl that piece, so it's all curled. I go in with my Nairobi Sheen spray just to give it a little bit of shine. And then one of the most important parts for me once I'm done curling is to tie my hair down, because again, I like for my Pixie to lay flat, but if you like volume, then you may not want to lay yours flat. You may want to go through with your fingers and kind of fluff them up. And so I typically will just tie my hair flat while I'm getting ready, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to add a little bit more spray, and this is the final result. I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope it helps you to maintain and curl your Pixie at home. Let me know in the comments down below if you found it helpful, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Bye.